Good afternoon. It's pretty luscious out here. Just before the summer starts in these woods, you always get it becomes very green, overly green, and you get a lot of wildlife coming out. But then by the summer months, you just have it just becomes really green and really lush. People say that Ireland's really green, but I think England is not far off. So today I want to talk about hustle culture, and hustle culture is something what I've always despised. I'll say it. I'm I'm just not a fan. And one of the reasons why, despite the obvious that I'm not a fan of the hustle culture, is I believe that you have to passionately adore something to do it. To achieve anything in life of any value, you have to want to die for that idea or that model. And the problem is, I think, the promise of what you're given in the hustle culture. So the cars, the women, the expensive watches, the private jets, whatever it is, I think are fundamentally quite hollow designs. Because if you really think about it, beyond the image of having a private jet to somebody of great business is actually something of practicality. It's something what comes with great wealth. It's not really something to... Yeah, it's a practical device. Having a fast car is kind of a social magnet for people to think you're a douche, and you're going to get stuck in traffic. And I'm not talking about if you're a car person, if you're a car not, and this is a different thing. I'm talking about just the seed what is planted for us to then want to go and hustle. I don't think the prize they're giving you is something you want, but this is how sales works. It works in the way that somebody has something. They either have the way they're suited, they're in a nice blazer, they have the tie, they have the gold watch, and they speak very well. Perhaps better than I'm speaking now. They've mapped out what they're going to say, and they know little trigger words to engage people. Something stinging me. This wouldn't be happening. They would not be getting stung by a nettle. And what they're offering people isn't what somebody in that position should be offering people, or somebody who is a public speaker, somebody who's trying to motivate, inspire. What people really need is they need kindness. And this is no cliche I'm giving you now. They need kindness so they can go into the world, be kind, and then they can receive kindness back, and that will make things instantly better. They need a passion, and they need to attain things. So I'm not saying you shouldn't spend money. They need to attain things what are good. So instead of this flashy sports car made by a company that doesn't care about you, how about some nice old classic car? Or how about something interesting like a van? You can go traveling in it, and you can spend very little on the van, and you can spend the rest on the locations you go travel. And that travel is going to give you so much more freedom, and so you're going to meet incredible people, you're going to see incredible things, and you're going to learn these practical skills when the van breaks down, and you're going to learn how to overcome things. And we should be taught how to be being dressed in... We're going to dress ourselves in interest. How do you want to dress? If you want to wear a suit, let's go to a nice tailor. Let's not buy something so expensive. Go to a nice tailor. Let's go help a family business out. They don't teach us to... When we have money, most of us are extortionately taxed. Most of us, I think in England, it's something like crazy. You earn a certain amount of money, you lose 60% of your money or something like that. It's not worth going into, because and I am all for a little tax to build the country, but if we were taught to put our money back into community, don't go to this establishment and put our money into this family-run bistro cafe and enjoy a homemade coffee, enjoy a homemade slice of cake. Go to this boutique shop and get some interesting fashion, and have somebody pick things out for you and show interest. When you go to an actual bookshop, people, when you buy a book, they will talk to you about the book. They will help you look for books. They will find. It's like searching for treasure. The hustle culture isn't teaching us to do that. What it's doing is it's saying you have to kill yourself. You have to work yourself into a grave, and within that you will find peace and solitude, and you will be happy. And I agree to the extent that you should be busy in life. You should find things to fill your time with, and you should enjoy yourself, and you should try multiple things. I completely agree with that. But this idea of waking up extremely early, having these tailored diets, I'm only going to drink coffee, I'm not going to drink coffee, I'm going to have this smoothie at this time, I do all these business calls at that time, I make money by this scheme. It's exhausting. And what the problem is, for the majority of people, this is the truth, who do not have this education, they're not going to be able to do these things because they're already living a life where it's hard and they can't do this normal 9-to-5 job and then try this whole hustle culture on top. It's not going to work for them. The people who are in these positions are people who have worked very hard to get themselves in positions. So you have to, if you want to get into the position of the person who's teaching the class in hustle, you have to first go through absolute, and this is what they tell you, they tell you to go through this, but a lot of people don't understand what that means. A lot of people can't actually do that. A lot of these people start from a young age. A lot of these people, they'll tell you stories of, I was 13, I did this, and they are all inspirational stories, but we should know that these stories don't, I think the reason why they don't work out for everybody, and people, if you look around, are still miserable, even if they do attain some piece of wealth or something, is because we're not teaching people the true values of life, which are to not get ahead of your brothers and sisters, not work yourself into the ground, not, for me to feel good about myself, I need to have got this car, I need to have got this money, I need to have this house. No, to feel good about ourselves, we need to come out in nature, we need to walk more, we need to care less about money, and the money we have to spend it on things what are going to benefit our life and benefit us uniquely, and also help people around us. Within that, you will find a true calmness. But people make themselves sick. I've seen a businessman in Paris. I was just sat on a bench in Paris, and this is the difference between him and I. I was sat in Paris enjoying my coffee. I was a broke student at the time, and I saw him come out of the office with his briefcase, and he threw up in a bin. And he threw up in the bin because I'm guessing, lost his job or he lost a client. And I've worked in those environments, and I also have been made to feel sick and anxious. And that's why I quit that environment. And I didn't quit because I couldn't stand it. I quit actually because I'm a harder worker than the people who are making me feel anxious. I am the person who will become obsessed and work on something for 16 hours. But I also am somebody who's going to be kind. I'm somebody who is, if I'm staying behind to extra time, I'm ordering food in and you're not complaining about it. I don't want to come in a little later at work tomorrow. We need to each be given, by management and to our people, we need to give people time and we need to give people space. But that's the problem. The world is too fast. Too fast. Everything is in high demand. Even in relaxed European countries, I'm starting to see people rush and panic. It was always a dream as an English guy to leave England and go to Italy or go to Spain, where there's this more relaxed nature that I'm just going to work enough to survive, and then But obviously, I understand now. I read enough to know that that's also not the case now. People actually can't. That culture also doesn't exist anymore. But I relax a lot now. I really do. I have a relaxed life. I work intensely for a bit, and then I have the rest of the day off. But I still don't feel relaxed, and the reason why I don't feel relaxed is because I feel the pressure off my other men, of other men, and sometimes women. I have other women who are used to dating guys what work constantly or constantly looking for work, and they're very skeptical of me, somebody who just works enough. And I get off other men who are concerned about the way I'm living life. Is it practical? Do I have an end goal? Is it whatever? And so because of the pressure I feel around me, I have the job I do is what people think I'm just messing around, and in a way I am, but I don't work as hard. I don't do as much work as a lot of people do, and within that it creates a lot of tension. So that's why I find it very hard to actually enjoy the very thing I'm talking about. This is the problem why people actually can't do what I'm saying to enjoy life, because we're all taught to constantly keep progressing, constantly keep building, and don't hang around your car too long. If you're in traffic, you're gonna get pipped at. Don't hang out in this cafe too long. You've been here 4 hours, don't you have a job to go, don't you have a house, don't you have a family? And that's the problem. And I'm telling you, that is a general problem to why people are so sick and depressed and anxious. It's a vicious circle. Okay, I hope this is something where you can reflect on. I hope you can go back into your lives and sort this out. Okay, enjoy yourselves. Ciao.